You're watching BCTV live streaming coverage of Field Hockey Division 1. Today's game, the Bedford Bulldogs hosting the Keene Blackbirds. I'm Pete MacDonald along with Scott O'Donnell. It is the last day of summer, Scott, and the Bedford Bulldogs are halfway through their season today.
Here we are, Pete, right in the heart of the season. Certainly the defining moment. We're going to turn one way or the other here and find out where our Bedford Bulldogs stand going forward. We're facing a very good team in Keene this beautiful night here. Keene graduated 7 seniors from last season, many of whom were massive contributors. 3 have gone on to play in the college ranks. New England College, Worcester State, Eastern Connecticut, and a lot of these kids in this program, because Keene State College is right there, and the coaching staff from Keene on both the state college and also at the high school have very close contact, and they really try and develop these girls. Some of these kids have played as early as kindergarten, which is unusual for field hockey programs. So the Bulldogs are certainly going to have a challenge here today as we get underway to start the game. O'Donnell intercepts at the 40, moves it up nicely to Kylie. Kylie drives across the 25. Nice defense by the Keene player, number 3, Tessa Pearson. Keene comes back up, across the 40, into the Bedford zone, jabbed away by Brooke Poirier for Bedford, and it's going to free hit for Bedford. Insert to Montagano. Montagano gets a call. It's going to go Keene's way. Keene free hit. Number 21 with a big drive for Keene. That was Sophia Miller. And the ball's going to come back out for Bedford. Montagano trying to work near sideline, and ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Keene free hit on the insert. Number 35, McKenna Nelson, brings the ball in for Keene. Intercepted there by Montagano. Montagano, quick outlet pass up to Denon. Lydia Denon tries to advance, smartly back to Grace Wolf. Grace Wolf down the sideline, but just out of bounds, out of the reach of Davidson. It's going to be a free hit for the Keene team. Ball back up to the 50. Bedford tries to move it up, gets it across the 40. Wolf is there. Wolf slides it up to Denon. Denon across the 15, into the 10, into the shooter circle. O'Donnell gathers it, but they're going to call a foul against Bedford. It's going to be a free hit coming back the other way for Keene. Keene, ball up to the 30 and out of bounds off of Montagano's stick. And Keene will insert. Far sideline, ball driven up. Montagano nicely knocks it down. Ball comes to center field. Maddie Kiley, across the 30. Nice recovery on the ball. Into the shooter circle. Kiley battles with it. Tries to go backhand to O'Donnell. Intercepted there by McKenna for Keene. And up comes the Keene team. CC Whaler got it up to the 35, but the ball's going to come back the other way with a free hit for Bedford. And number 11 for Keene is there. Avery Allaire clearing it. Brooke Poirier gives pressure for Bedford. Nice inside-out move by number 21, Sophia Miller for Keene. The ball goes out of bounds off a Bedford stick, and it's going to be a free hit for Keene coming in from the far side of the field. Oh, they're going to call, that was a foot call, excuse me, from the 40. Keene works it back to the middle of the field. Kiley comes with speed, puts pressure on the defender, wins the day, has the ball going her way, but Keene player gets knocked down, and that's going to be a call in Keene's favor. Number 33, Lexi Yardley, the big drive Up to the 40, gets knocked down. Denon gathers it on the sideline, tries to advance it. But number 35, McKenna Nelson, was there. Ball back to Montagano. Montagano back to Brooke Poirier. Poirier tries to advance up the field off her foot. And that's going to be a free ball coming back the other way for Bedford after it goes off of the Keene player's foot. Nope, the referee is going to call the earlier foot call, and it's going to be Keene ball. Keene moves it out to the 20, tries to get in the shooter circle, and they're going to earn themselves a corner. The Keene team plays on a very deep grass field, Pete, out there on their home turf at Keene High School. So I imagine these girls are very strong on their stick and do not give up. I'm sure they're relentless in their play, because when you play on grass, that is certainly the style you're going to have to come with. So free corner, ball's inserted, top of the circle. Shot, ball lifts, hits McDonald right in the arm. McDonald, tough as nails, shakes it off. And Bedford on the move. Catane tries to go far side, near sideline, but just out of the reach of Denon. That ball is going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Keene ball. Number 6, Cece Whaley gives it to McKenna Nelson. Nelson tries to stick handle through. O'Donnell's there giving her pressure. Nelson gets free, drills it up the field. McDonald's there to kick it out to the left side and away from the offensive zone. Number 21, Sophia Miller, is going to inbound for Keene. Comes in at the 15. Stick handles around 2 Bedford players. O'Donnell's there, nicely intercepted and clears. But the ball is going to go out of bounds. Keene's going to have a free hit coming back the other way. Again, I think they called the foot call on that, because they're moving up to about the 18 of Bedford territory. Ball inserted. Intercepted there by Grace Wolf to O'Donnell. O'Donnell up the sideline, tries to catch Davidson on the move, but the Keene defender steps up, and it comes back the other way. Montagano gathers, gives it to Grace Wolf, just can't handle it. Too close to the feet, not out of bounds. O'Donnell, big backhand up the field. Gets it up to the 40. Another nice play by the Keene defender. I believe that's Sarah Weber out on that far side. Yeah, we're going to get another pause here. The referee call and a foul. It's going to be a free hit Bedford. Poirier from the 40. Tries to move up sideline. Hits Grace Wolf in the foot and pops up. Free hit back Keene's way. Number 21, Sophia Miller with a big drive, knocked down by Denon. Denon into Kylie. Kylie with room, moves across the 35, moves across the 30. Tries to pop the ball upfield, does. Gets it in the shooter circle. Big backhand in towards the net. Davidson can't gather it. Nice defensive play by number 10, Emily Antosewicz, for the Keene team. She certainly stopped the scoring chance there. She doesn't clear. Davidson with a quick poke. O'Donnell gives chase. Ball in and out. Davidson alone in front of the net. Slides it over to Kylie. Big save by the goalie for Keene. Trinity Williamson with a big kick to stop the Bulldogs from putting it into the net. And up they come the other way, but McDonald is there. McDonald carries across the 35. Beautiful backhand down the far sideline, just out of the reach of Grace Wolf. Nice defensive play. That's never a bad play, Pete. You slow the play down.
Oh, absolutely.
You put them back on their heels, get yourself a chance to regroup and get in position. Ball inbounded, knocked down by O'Donnell. Nice pass up to Denon. Denon at the 25, carries. Dishes it out to Kylie, just too far. Kylie gives chase as a Keene player has control of it. Keene tries to come up the near side of the field. Kylie steals it back, but they're going to call a foot call. And Keene's going to get a free hit coming back the other way. It's going to be number 33, Lexi Yardley. Moves the ball up the field nicely, crosses the 30, pops up to the 40. Mia Catane comes up. Catane, excuse me. to make the defensive play for Bedford. Ball out of bounds at just about the 20. Senior captain Natalie Denon inserts to Montagano. Montagano back outside to Kylie. Kylie, big rip across the field into the goal mouth. O'Donnell gives chase, pokes at it, and gets a foot call on the Keene defender. And the Bedford Bulldogs are going to get a great scoring opportunity on this corner.
Go 10 minutes into the first quarter. The Blackbirds have had one corner, and now it's the Bulldogs' turn.
McDonald waits on the referee as the Keene players set. McDonald inserts, top of the circle to Kylie. Kylie over to Montagano. Keene defenders come out. O'Donnell gathers it.
That'll be another foot.
It's going to be another foot call for another corner. Bedford's going to get another chance at this. Try and move the ball a little quicker in order to get it and keep it away from the Keene players. McDonald inserts, top of the circle. Montagano, big wrist shot and a big score. That ball may have been deflected by McDonald, and it was beautifully executed. Junior captain Amelia McDonald on the goal off the deflect. She inserts, Montagano sets up, rips a big wrister, and McDonald is there on the redirect to put in the back of the net. 1-0, your Bedford Bulldogs are on the board.
That's what you like to see, right? The corner opportunities, and they convert it to a point. It's what a great play that was for a corner, and certainly the goal.
Beautifully executed there. Denon comes up the 55, up across the 50. Ball gets away from Montagano. She tries to recover, but number 3, Tessa Pearson, is there for Keene. McKenna moves up for Keene. Big drive up to number 8 as she gets up the field. Harper Zalaski saves it at the goal line. McDonald's there again on the defensive side of the ball. Tries to clear. Keene player knocks it down. Number 21, Sophia Miller. And she's going to get a free hit. She moves right. Tries a spin. Comes back out to the 10 with a backhand. That gets knocked down nicely, defended by Eloise Montagano. And again, she clears, gives the Bedford team time to reset. Keene on the inbound. Over to Miller. Miller tries to get by 2 defenders. Tries to get by 3. Poirier was there. They're going to get a foot call in their favor. So Keene's going to get a free hit again. Miller at about the 10. Pulls the ball back. Tries to spin around 2 Bedford players. Beautiful pop-up play by the Keene player. Advances the ball towards the goal mouth, but it goes out of bounds. That was a nice piece of stick work there by Harper Zalaski, number 8, for the Blackbirds. And Keene has earned themselves a corner call. Bedford defenders getting their masks on, waiting for the call for the referee. Keene inserts, top of the circle, back over. Big rip. Sy steps out with a nice kick save, knocked down by McDonald to clear the shooting zone. And McKenna gives chase for Keene. Another big strike, but Montagano is there, pushes the ball out sideline. That hit a foot on a Bedford player, and it's going to be another Keene corner. Number 5, Olive Thatcher, goes to the goal line, sets the ball, waiting for the referee's call. Inserts. Near circle, top of the circle. Miller tries to spin. McDonald is there, knocks it down, clears nicely. Up comes Denon, across the 30. Nice zipper pass up to Maddie Kiley, but just off her stick. Ball's free. McKenna Nelson battled for it for Keene, and she's going to get the benefit of the call. Excuse me, that was Emily Anstanchewicz. Now McKenna drives it in. Number 3, Tessa Pearson tries a spin move, gets the benefit of a call again, drives it hard into the shooter's circle. Keene's got a chance here, shot on net, Sy with a save. Poirier trying to find it. Miller back around with a spin move. Poirier there to knock that down. Back onto Miller's stick. She spins, gets a shot off. It goes wide right. Beautiful save by Sy. Beautiful defensive effort by Poirier and McDonald, holding the fort for the Bedford Bulldogs. Bedford goes far sideline. Grace Wolf tries to advance it up to Montagano. Montagano pressured there by Miller from Keene. Miller inserts, gets to the top of the shooter circle, but there's McDonald again. Beautiful defensive play and clears up the far sideline. Davidson can't get there. Keene back into the inbound. Ball bounces to the goal line in the Bedford territory. Brooke Poirier, beautiful pop play right over the top of the other player's stick. But it's going to go off a foot, and Miller for Keene is going to get a free hit. She quickly tries to advance the ball in towards the shooter circle, but that's going to go off a foot again. It's going to be a Bedford ball. McDonald. About 25 seconds left on the clock from the 15. McDonald looks. Big lift upfield all the way to Tegan O'Donnell. O'Donnell gathers it nicely, tries to advance, but the Keene player is there. McDonald makes up for it by knocking the ball back out across the 25. O'Donnell gives pursuit to McKenna Nelson. Nelson moves left then right. O'Donnell's there for Bedford, slows it down, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. 1-0, your Bedford Bulldogs.
Wow, a lot of action in that first quarter, and I'll tell you, the Blackbirds are keeping the ball in the Bulldog zone. They with last 15 minutes, I bet you 10 of it, Keene has pressed them hard. Fortunately, the defense has stepped up. Irene Sy with a great stop there with a few minutes left in the quarter. But yeah, this 1-0. But Keene is on fire.
This is a very evenly matched game, Pete. Lots of back and forth so far. Nicely played by both teams. Nice passing, big drives up the field by the Keene players. Those are some really nice hits that they're having. They've certainly had their share of offensive opportunities. And Bedford is just the team that's been lucky enough to get one on the board. I don't think this one's going to end 1-0.
Oh, I don't think so either. It was good to see Bedford convert that corner. They've had a tough time scoring on corners, and it was good to see McDonald get it in the net. She's been a bit on fire. I think that goal got her going.
Certainly did.
Defense is looking real good on the Bulldog side. I like to see them open the field a little bit and get some more playing time on the Blackbird side, but we'll take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, McDonald and Poirier certainly are holding the fort for the Bedford Bulldogs so far in the defensive zone. And interestingly enough, this Keene team last season, all but one of their 9 losses were by 1 goal, including a 2-1 quarterfinal loss against top-seeded Winnicott. And the Bedford Bulldogs, we played them there, and it's a tough place to play. Very heavy grass. It's a slow game. It's really more about being relentless than anything else out on that pitch. And at the end of the day, Bedford, with time running out on the clock and a tie game, I remember Ellie Enners, who was a senior at the time. She's now graduated and moved on. Quite an athlete, lacrosse, ice hockey, field hockey. She just willed Bedford to a win in those last few minutes of that game and put the ball in the back of the net. And then Bedford held on with about 45 seconds left with a barrage of shots from Keene. So these two teams play each other very evenly. This is certainly a tight game, and we're seeing that again, as history repeats itself. Getting ready to kick off the second quarter, 15 minutes on the clock, ball at center field. And the whistle goes and ball in play. O'Donnell tries to intercept. Ball pops up. Keene advances up to the 40. Denon, foot call. Going to be free hit for Keene. Keene player weaves through Bedford players. Montagano knocks it down, gets a free hit. Montagano up to O'Donnell. Just skips over the top of O'Donnell's stick. And Keene comes back the other way. Miller across the 45, across the 30. Grace Wolf for Bedford. Tries to clear it up the far side of the field. Not going very far, as number 20, Sarah Weber for Keene, is there with another nice defensive play on that far side of the field. Right defender, Sarah Weber, with the ball. Advances it up the right side of the field, down the sideline. Montagano, nifty little intercept, tries to clear, but Miller's there for Keene, comes back the other way, and she's going to earn the call to Keene's benefit. From the 25, Miller, big push, trying to wrist it into the circle. Ball gets knocked down by McDonald as she's trying to deflect it away from the net. And the referee is going to call a corner for Keene. I didn't see that very well.
I thought that was a good defensive play by McDonald, but I think he's reading it as an intentional, moving the ball intentionally out of play.
I believe
that's
so
a tough
too.
one, but that is a field hockey rule.
Yeah, top of the circle. McKenna Nelson drives. Miller tries to deflect. Brooke Poirier quickly gets it out. Montagano one touch over to Grace Wolf, who turns, sets, tries to clear it. But Keene's there, back up to Miller. Miller comes up right side. Big drive, gets it across the top of the field, into the shooter circle. Keene players have control of it. Nicely passing. Quick drive towards the net. Ball in front. Cy squared up. Cy knocks that one down, but they're going to get a corner benefit call their way as the ball went off the foot or leg of a Bedford defender.
Well, that's what happens when you dominate the scoring circle. Good things tend to happen, right? Just a simple ball deflection off the opponent's foot earns you a corner and a great opportunity to score here for the Blackbirds.
Blackbirds get ready to insert. They do. Up to the top, McKenna Nelson. Big drive, just wide of the net to the left. Boy, we're lucky that wasn't on net there, Pete.
Oh, indeed. That was a hard shot.
Ball up, Catane, quickly to Denon. Denon over to Maddie Kiley. Maddie Kiley flip pass to O'Donnell. O'Donnell one time, lays it out across the 40, across the 30, but Davidson can't get there. Trying to advance the ball up the field and get some type of offensive action going, the Bulldogs are right now. We've kind of been back on their heels the end of the first quarter and so far the first 4 minutes of this quarter. Free insert here. O'Donnell knocks it down in traffic, tries to advance, but it pops back out of bounds off her stick. Keene again. Clears it up to about the 50. Catane is there. Catane brings it near field. Tries to slide it up. Nicely intercepted by CeCe Whaler for Keene. She stick handles, crosses it up to the 30, passes it up to her teammate, Olive Thatcher. Thatcher's there. Grace Wolf with a nice defensive play to knock it down. Ball's going to come back the other way for the Bulldogs. Maddie Kiley up to Davidson. Davidson tries to give and go. Beautiful defensive play by number 11, Avery Allaire for the Keene team. Montagano takes it back, tries to weave through two defenders, gets it across the 20, advances up to Davidson on a rebound, trying to redirect. The Keene goalie was there. Montagano again into O'Donnell. Top of the shooting circle, O'Donnell goes backhand, trying to get into her teammates. And the ball's cleared again by Keene and out of bounds, but it's going to be a Bedford ball. Little burst of offense from the Bulldogs. Natalie Denon into Montagano. Montagano wheels back around, tries to hook it in to Kiley, but it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a free hit for Keene. up at the 16. Number 33, Lexi Yardley comes up. Spots the ball, takes a look. And she drives it hard up the field, all the way up to the 50. McDonald is there, pushes it out far side of the field, controls, tries to go up sideline, and out. Gives the Bulldogs a chance to get back on D. Miller for Keene, tries to advance. Poirier's there. Poirier pushes the ball up, and Montagano scoops it at the 50, tries to hit Kylie. Kylie, with speed, gets up across the 25, but they're going to call a foot call on Kylie, and it's going to come back the other way with a free hit for Keene. Number 10, Emily Antosowicz, with a drive. Doesn't get all of it, but very effective. It gets up to the 50. Mia Catane tries to clear it. Doesn't get a good hit on the ball. Pops loose. Denon comes back. Is there. They try to move the ball in the center field, but they don't. Montagano up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Kylie. Kylie, nice defensive play by number 11 from the Keene Blackbirds. Montagano at the 40. Beautiful stick handle. Gives it to O'Donnell. Up across the 25. O'Donnell into the shooter circle. Backhand over to Kylie. Kylie just didn't have a chance to handle that as a bouncing ball. It's the right idea. Good offensive chance there for the Bulldogs, but just out of Kylie's reach. Free hit Keene. Back up to the 25. They turn. Right upfield. Advance up across the 50. Poirier's there, knocks it down. Grace Wolf, beautiful outlet pass over to Denon. Denon to O'Donnell. O'Donnell at the 20, advances in the shooter circle. Nicely fed to Kylie. Kylie in on goal. Beautiful save by the Keene goaltender. Trinity Williamson was there as Kylie went in off a beautiful feed from Tegan O'Donnell. And the Bulldogs just couldn't put it in the back of the net. Nicely played by that Keene goaltender. Montagano tries to wheel between a couple of Keene defenders. Going to get the benefit of a call here from the 20. Goes 5. Spins. Has a defender down. Tries to shoot towards the net. It hits the leg of the Keene defender just inside the circle. That's going to be a free corner for the Bulldogs and another scoring opportunity. Just about 7 minutes left in the second quarter. McDonald goes down to the baseline. Goal line, excuse me. Waiting for the Keene defenders to get their masks on for protection purposes. Kylie top of the circle. McDonald into Kylie. Kylie rips one from the top. It gets knocked down nicely by the Keene defender. They try to get out of the shooting circle. Montagano is there. She gathers it. Spin move into O'Donnell. Another spin move. O'Donnell tries to get a shot off. Persists. O'Donnell score. Bedford Bulldogs 2-0. Absolutely tenacious there inside the shooter circle. With those opportunities, it really originated off that corner, Pete.
It sure did. It's a big change. The first few minutes of the second quarter, it was all about Keene and the Blackbirds in our zone. And Bedford turned that around, earned the corner, and got another great goal there.
So the Bulldogs lead 2-0. McDonald tries to slow down the Keene defender who wins the day, gets the ball into the shooter circle, advances towards the net. Catane is there. Sy comes out, tries to block it. It's going to be a foot call going Bedford's way. Sy nicely squared up in net to those balls. She's certainly tracking them. Oh, just up over Denon's stick and out of bounds. We're going to have a break in the action here while Keene tracks on the ball. Comes back, number 35, McKenna Nelson for the Blackbirds. Nelson, O'Donnell gives pressure. Ball knocked down by Catane and Montagano. Montagano looks, waiting to get it to Denon. Keene defenders certainly pinch on that side. Not a lot of openings there for the Bulldogs to advance to their typical play down the sideline. But Denon gets it through. Kylie intercepts. Continues across the 30. tries to advance, gets the benefit of a foot call. Denon quickly on the ball. Bulldogs trying to transition into Montagano. Montagano, quick hit into O'Donnell. Knocked down and nicely defended by number 24, Ella Rice, for the Keene Blackbirds, as the Blackbirds come back up the field, but Grace Wolf is there for Bedford. She knocks it down, gets it to Montagano. Montagano, big sweeping pass, trying to hit Kylie deep. But again, a Keene defender is there. Catane for Bedford. Smartly to the sideline with the ball. Montagano tries to poke it away from the Keene player. Number 6, Cece Whaler, very aggressive, going hard at the ball, and she's going to draw a foul against Catane for Bedford. She'll go out, sit the penalty. Keene will have the advantage, up one player. McKenna Nelson tries to advance it. Referee tells her to wait and reset. So Bedford will be in the penalty here. McKenna Nelson slides it back to her teammate. Grace Wolf for Bedford. Nice defensive play. Strong stick, stays with it. Miller plays her, but the ball goes out of bounds off a Miller stick. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford. Bedford should be in no rush here right now, trying to get time off the clock to get that player back in. Wolf smartly back to McDonald. McDonald, beautiful pass crossing field onto Denon's stick, onto the 20. Denon up to Kylie. Kylie tries to advance it, takes a couple swings at it, just misses, caught her foot. Ball's going to come back the other way for Keene. Keene, number 3, Tessa Pearson tries to advance. McDonald knocks it down. McDonald, nice defensive play, upfield, right on the stick of Lydia Denon. Denon across the 50, and she sends Davidson, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, up the field. Davidson gives chase, nicely keeps it in bounds, but the Keene defender, with a beautiful play, knocks it down. Now Montagano, back the other way to O'Donnell. O'Donnell into the circle. One-timer by Davidson just goes wide, but the benefit of that is that the Bulldogs are going to get a corner here out of that play.
Terrific penalty killing by the Bedford Bulldogs.
Nothing like offense to create the appropriate defense, right?
Yes, indeed.
Montagano, McDonald, O'Donnell, they seem to have some real passing going right now. They're going to spring Kylie with one of these, but here we go with the corner for now. McDonald sets from the goal line, inserts, comes up to Montagano. Montagano, big wrist shot at the net, and just left, goes wide of the goal mouth.
That's
Boy,
right.
Montagano's getting all that on those wrist shots.
That's a well-executed corner. It was fast. You have to be fast. I've been counting it on film, just watching the corners, and you got about 3 to 5 seconds max to make that play work before you're swarmed.
And it's so smart to risk that ball
Absolutely.
versus the big windup. Denon right into the shooter circle, but that's going to be too far for any of our other Bedford teammates to catch up with it. It'll be out of bounds. Going to be a free hit from the 16 for the Keene Blackbirds.
And Bulldogs are back at full strength.
O'Donnell knocks it down. Ball deflects. Scrambled for it at the 30. Denon nicely picks the pocket of the Keene player. And Kylie knocks it down again. Pokes it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, spin move on 2 defenders. Advances to the net. Davidson is there. Scramble in front of the goal mouth. Beautiful goalie play by Trinity Williamson. Down on her knees and keeps the ball out of the back of the net. Montagano again. Smartly over to Denon. Denon from the 25 tries to advance it. Skips off a Keene defender's foot. Montagano takes it again. Has to move the 5 yards. Stick handles. Tries to get in the circle to O'Donnell, who's right up against the edge of a defender. Not a lot of room for her to move, but the ball's going to come back the other way. Keene's favor. Keene tries to advance it. Davidson knocks it down. Kylie gives chase. O'Donnell tries to pursue, but Keene's able to escape for now. Ball pops up to the 30, and there's going to be a free hit from the 30 for Keene as the ball went off the foot of a Bedford player. Natalie Denon to Montagano. Kylie quick pass attempt. It's knocked down nicely by the Keene player. McKenna Nelson for Keene drives it forward. Number 5, Olive Thatcher for Keene, out to Miller. Miller from the far sideline tries to advance it and catch number 6, Cece Whaler, on the sprint, but it's just too far ahead of her. They had a quick little break there, but they just couldn't connect, and that's going to be the end of the second quarter with the score. Your Bedford Bulldogs 2, Keene Blackbird 0. But it's been a really close game, Pete. This certainly could turn around really quick and be a tie game.
Oh, Bedford has to stay on the attack. They cannot sit back with a 2-0 lead at halftime and expect that the Blackbirds are going to take it easy on them. They are a very aggressive team. The ball hasn't bounced their way quite like the Bulldogs, but they are definitely in contention for this game, in spite of the 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, it's certainly been a fun one to watch, unlike the game at the Concord High School field, Rollins Park up there, that occurred on Wednesday of this week. Very tough game. Girls played really hard, but that Concord team, they play at what's called a stagger or layered defense. They were double teaming several of the players on the field. They seemed to all know each other really well, so they were scouted well. And that coach up there, Nikki Armaganian, she herself was a collegiate player at Division I UNH. She knows the game, and she knew how to neutralize the Bedford Bulldogs. It ended up resulting in a 1-0 loss for the Bulldogs. Not a lot of offensive chances during the course of the entire game. There was one really nice play, the quick transition up the center of the field and a ball that laid out for a partial breakaway going in from about the 25-yard line for Davidson. And given that it's grass, the ball's bouncing all over the place, hard to control, but Davidson did a wonderful job, got a shot off, but unfortunately it went far right and didn't get on goal on mark. After that, the Bulldogs did earn themselves a corner and just couldn't execute on the corner. Again, the ball just died in the grass, and the Bedford Bulldogs girls just seem to struggle when it comes to grass play.
Grass has confounded them, and we saw that at the quarterfinals last year, and we've seen it both now at help me out here, Londonderry, and then again in Concord. It's tough going from when you're practicing and playing at home on turf to taking on grass. And grass is very variable, right? You've got some that is real tight and almost like turf, and you've got the other fields that let the grass grow a bit, and it really changes the whole pace of play.
It really does. And the players have to really pop the ball up as they try and advance down the field or even lift it high. And what really seemed to be the difference maker, almost like in the Winnicott game, Pete, and what you see here as well, is when you have those defenders on the back line off a free hit and your offensive players can run up the field and spread out, it spreads the field and it opens up lanes and opportunities for people to score. And, Concord has a big hitter on their defensive play. Winnicott with McAfee, she could rip the ball up the field. And you're seeing that here from a couple of the Keene Blackbird players where they're getting that free hit. In fact, not a couple of them, quite frankly, the whole back line. All three of those players, when they get the free hit, are winding up and they're getting pretty much all of the ball, which really creates a strong advantage because the ball comes bouncing up the field with some steam on it. It's hard to knock the ball down. And now it's a territorial game, right, Pete? Now you're advancing the ball 20, 30 yards away from your goal. So even if you don't turn that into a scoring opportunity, at least you've gained that territory and tactical advantage on the field.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, it's Friday night, which can only mean one thing, and that's Friday night football. Tonight, Friday night football has the 3-0 defending state champion Bedford Bulldogs visiting the Goffstown Grizzlies. Kickoff is at 7:30 in Goffstown this evening. If you can't make it, you can certainly watch the game live on Bedford Community Television, BCTV High Definition Channel 1072, or catch the live stream on the BCTV website. There are a lot of options to watch high school football and high school sports today, including Amazon Fire TV and Roku. Big change from when I started volunteering for BCTV 20 years ago when it was one channel, and I think they had rabbit ears still. But the access to content at BCTV, particularly for high school athletics, is about as good as any major network. You can watch it anywhere. I just downloaded the BCTV app, as a matter of fact, and I'm actually watching our broadcast as I work the camera, just to make sure I'm keeping the camera in focus and on the play. It's a great app, and the visual quality is excellent. Looks like it's time to start the second half here. Right now, the Bulldogs lead the Blackbirds 2-0, but there's a lot of game left here, and I'll tell you, Keene has game.
"15 minutes on the clock. We're just waiting for the players to take the field here. Both teams still huddled up. Bedford players are taking the field first. As we set up on the forward side of the field here, we have along the line Maddie Kiley, Tegan O'Donnell, Sydney Davidson, and Lydia Denon. Midfielders are going to be Natalie Denon, Elise Montagano, Grace Wolf. And on the back line at defense, Coach McStow's sticking with Catane, McDonald, and Poirier. That whole defensive line for Bedford has certainly played well so far tonight. Let's hope they can keep it up for the second half. Referees are talking with the coaches right now. I'm not sure what the issue is on the field right now, Pete, but we're about to get underway here as the lights come on here at what the kids at the school like to call the Boneyard. A spoof on the Bedford Bulldogs. And here we go. O'Donnell with a big flip right up center field. Kiley gives chase. We're going to call a dangerous ball on that. It's going to come back for Keene with a big drive up the field. Montagano beautifully defended. Passes it up to Davidson. Davidson around the defender. Up to the top of the shooter circle. Advances it. Kiley gives chase. Kiley tries to drive it back. Nicely defended by the Keene player. Kiley scoops it, weaves in and around some Keene defenders, but just can't advance it towards the goal mouth. And Keene comes back hard the other way. Brooke Poirier knocks it down. Keene gets it back. Montagano pursues, knocks it out of bounds. It's number 8, Harper Zalaski, with a lot of speed coming up the field for Keene, and it's going to be a free hit Keene's way. Big rip across the field. It comes up high, almost hits O'Donnell in the face. And they're going to call a dangerous ball on that. The ball's going to come back for a free hit for Bedford. Junior Brooke Poirier advances up the near sideline. Out of bounds off a Keene player. Grace Wolf tries to get it O'Donnell into traffic. It gets knocked down by Keene. They come back the other way across the 50. Off the foot of a Keene player. Denon quickly resets center of the field to O'Donnell. O'Donnell, nice quick touch pass back to Montagano. Montagano advances it way down the field to the 20. Davidson to Kiley. Kiley in traffic. Just can't get there. O'Donnell pokes it away, pulls, shoots at the net, and that's going to be a goal for the Bedford Bulldogs. Not sure if that got deflected by Davidson. It doesn't look like it. As tradition has it, the player that scores the goal ends up picking up the ball and bringing it back to midfield. O'Donnell has it in hand. That'll be 2 for O'Donnell. 3-0 Bedford. Back play underway. Denon for Bedford. Up across the 40. Advances to O'Donnell. O'Donnell gets the benefit of the call. Free hit Bedford. Denon again. Tries a slide up to Kylie. Nicely defended by the Keene player. Keene is there. Knocks it off the Keene player's stick. Nicely backhanded. Grace Wolf with a quick one touch over to Davidson. Davidson tries a spin around. Get the ball free, but just gets tangled up in her feet, and it's going to be a free hit for Keene. Big drive. O'Donnell knocks it down. Wolf hits it one time, tries to advance it, but number 8, Harper Zalaski for Keene, comes up with it, but there's Denon for Bedford. And she rips one down the sideline, trying to get Kylie and spring her, but it doesn't get by. Nicely defended by Keene. And here comes Poirier the way. Tiptoeing to center field, just off her stick. Keene has it. Pickpocketed by Eloise Montagano. Montagano over to Grace Wolf. Grace Wolf to O'Donnell. O'Donnell up to Lydia Denon. Denon tries to advance it up the field. Doesn't get far, but Montagano gets it again. O'Donnell spins, tries to advance it far side of the field. No one's there. Kylie gives chase. And ball goes out of bounds. Went off a Bedford stick, and that's going to be Keene's ball. From about the 26-yard line, Keene. Another big rip. Ooh, hard off of Maddie Kylie's foot. She goes down. Well, a referee's timeout here. As Kylie took that, it looks like right off the ankle. I'm not sure the shin pad had all of that, and she's limping off the field. Let's hope Maddie's okay. Maddie is a key player on this Bedford Bulldogs team. Junior forward. Biggest strength is her speed. We certainly need her in the lineup. Medical staff attends her as the play gets back underway. Keene moves the ball, gets it up across the 50. Zalaski pokes it up. There is Amelia McDonald. She scoops it in, backhands it, knocks it up and out smartly off the Keene player's stick, and it's going to be a Bedford ball. Nice stretch pass by McDonald up the sideline. Davidson just doesn't have ability to handle that one. Ball comes up. Montagano gets it back. Let me correct that, excuse me. Davidson certainly has the ability. It's just the ball was bouncing too much on her. Referee's going to make a call here. Not sure what it is. Got a card out.
I didn't see the penalty.
5, sophomore Tegan O'Donnell's going to get a penalty. Just go take a seat. Bulldogs will be short. 10 minutes left in the third quarter.
Hey, can you guys just watch for the officials? If they cross their hands, you gotta stop the clock if there's a card awarded.
Ball comes up the sideline. Keene advances up across 35. Tries to get it to the 30. Grace Wolf is there. Pokes it away, but back onto a Keene player's stick. Far side. Number 11, Avery Allaire. Nicely played by Eloise Montagano for the Bedford Bulldogs. But Keene gets control again. Allaire, big drive. Ball pounces into the shooter circle. McDonald scoops it up out of the air and clears beautifully out of danger. Ball up to Ella Putney, who's just checked into the game. Over to Davidson. Davidson up across the 30, up across 25. She's going to get the benefit of the calls. The Keene player impedes her progress. Nicely done by Davidson. Denon to Montagano. Montagano moves right then left, dekes out one player, nicely to the front of the net. Davidson, from her belly, shoots just wide of the net. Davidson was down and was still making the play from her stomach, trying to put the ball in the back of the net for the Bulldogs. Excellent effort. She certainly has a nose for the net. Ball comes back up to the 25. Montagano for Bedford. Has to move 5. She tries a stick handle. Miller's there. She's going to get the benefit of the call. Goes her way. She tries a stick handle again through 3 players. Into Davidson. Denon and Wolf give a swing at it. Don't get on the ball. And ball's going to come back out. Excuse me. It's going to be a free hit for Keene.
Well, it's the second time that Bedford has been shorthanded, and they've killed this penalty brilliantly, just like the last one.
Ball back up to center field. McDonald slows Miller down nicely. Again, allows Bedford to reset. Into Miller for Keene. Miller tries to get around Catane, but McDonald is there again. Beautifully stick handles around a couple players, and again slows the play down. It's going to be another free hit for Keene, but nicely defended there by Bedford. Ball in from about the 20. Keene with a big drive. Montagano knocks it down, slides it up to Denon. Denon tries to break free. Montagano pokes it away with room across the 40, up across the 50. Nicely to Davidson. Davidson still on the move, turns, corrals the ball, makes a move around the Keene defender and is going to get the benefit of a call. Free hit for the Bulldogs from the 30. Montagano advances up to the 25, up to the 20, into traffic. The referee made a call there. I think it's going to be a free hit for Bedford because I think Montagano, with that nifty stick handling, was able to draw a foot call against Keene. She does that so well, Pete. She certainly just freezes the defenders, and here she goes again. Back and forth. McDonald tries to drive it in the circle, knocked down by the Keene defender who clears it up to the 50. Catane gives chase, swipes at it, doesn't get all of it, but Brooke Poirier knocks it down. Poirier pokes it forward. It goes to Montagano. Now Grace Wolf gives chase, but that's going to be out of bounds. McDonald's everywhere on defense tonight, Pete.
The defense overall has just been outstanding. The line they've got out there with Catane, Poirier, and McDonald have done a fantastic job all game.
Along with Montagano, she keeps intercepting these passes and turning it the other way very, very swiftly. Free hit for Bedford coming up here. Eloise Montagano from the 25, across the 20, stick handles, inside out, around and through 3 defenders, but loses control of the ball just at the top of the circle, and back comes Keene. Miller drives it hard, and there's McDonald. One-handed, nicely scoops it up, comes across the 25, pokes it up over the stick of Zelaski, but Miller comes back to the 5. Big drive, ball pops up again, hits McDonald. That's going to be a dangerous hit. Call against Keene. Free hit, Bedford. McDonald's going to come up to the 16 and set. McDonald from the 20, nicely passed up the field to the 40 to Sydney Davidson. Davidson with an edge, tries to get around the defender. Nicely played by number 20 from Keene, Sarah Weber, keeping Davidson from going in and around her on a breakaway. Wolf into Montagano. Montagano tries to switch fields. Catane is there from the 25. Lots of open space on the far side of the field. Comes across the 30. Goes far sideline. Gets it to Denon. Denon tries to advance it. Goes off a Keene stick and out. And Bedford will insert. Denon to Montagano. Montagano spins. Tries a get the ball downfield. Draws a call in her way, but the Keene player intercepts nicely and goes and drives it back up far side of the field. Katane across the 50, tries to go backhand to Denon, just out of her reach, but Denon recovers, spins, tries to get up to O'Donnell, who's back in the game after serving the penalty. We're back to even strength, 3:50 left in the third quarter. Keene's going to get a free hit from just about the 40. Referee's going to slow them down and back it up to the spot of where the infraction took place, Pete, just about the 38-yard line. McKenna Nelson with a big rip. It gets knocked down. Bedford springs it over to Lydia Denon. Denon tries to hit Putney on the run. Ella Putney gives chase in for Maddie Kiley. Keene defender there. Nicely stick handles around the Bedford girls. Ball back up to about the 50, but McDonald's there. McDonald carrying the ball upfield, gets across the 40, recovers as it broke free, gets it back in at the 40 again. Nicely slapped up the field on the run up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell slides it quickly out to Putney, but just can't handle on the return. Eloise Montagano from the 20 into O'Donnell, into the shooter circle, wrist shot, Putney in front of the net, tries a backhand, beautifully defended by number 10, Emily Antosiewicz for the Blackbirds. She probably just saved a goal there for that Keene team. O'Donnell from her knees tries to advance the ball. Can't do it. Montagano in the circle, ball in the scoring circle. Nicely played by the Keene goalie and kicked out. Montagano with the steal, advances into O'Donnell, top of the shooter circle. O'Donnell backhand, tries to hit Grace Wolf, gets it off the foot of the Keene defender, and is going to get the benefit of a call for a corner. But the referee has crossed his arms, and we're going to get a penalty. Not sure who this is against yet. That's going to be against number 35, McKenna Nelson. So Keene will be in the penalty. Bedford will be up a player. Minute 30 in the third. Amelia McDonald goal line. Waiting for the referee to give the whistle. Montagano, O'Donnell, Denon, top of the circle. Bedford sets. McDonald looks. Waits for the call. Inserts. Beautifully inserted to Montagano. Montagano, quick wrist shot. Oh, just far left. Towards Grace Wolf, trying to deflect it, just couldn't get the stick on the ball, but nicely executed by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well executed corner for Bedford.
O'Donnell intercepts, comes across the 25, across the 20, stick handles between two defenders, but ball gets poked off her stick. And up comes Keene the other way, across the 40, up to the 50. Nice move by number 3, Tessa Pearson. But McDonald is there. Beautiful stick work. Slowing the defenders down, slowing the offense down. 44 seconds left on the clock. Poirier tries to clear. Ball advances back towards the net. Nifty little stick handle and clear from McDonald. Ball comes back in again. McDonald tries a handle, but it goes off the goal line, out the goal line off her stick. Excuse me. It's going to be a free hit for Keene, back up at the 25. 19 seconds left. Big drive.
Wow.
And that is
in, straight in.
I'm not sure that's a goal, Pete.
No,
No,
they didn't. They didn't. Nope.
No.
She wasn't in the circle. I
Katane.
think it was too far out. My bad.
Start the clock again. Sorry. Okay, we're going to have the end of the third quarter here. The call on the field was that shot from the Keene player was outside the
That's
shooter
right.
circle, and it wasn't touched by another Keene player. So even though the ball went in the back of the net, it has to be in the shooting circle or deflected in the shooting circle. And that shot originated from outside that circle. Therefore, the ruling on the field is no goal for Keene. 3-0, end of the third. And here we stand.
Bedford had a good quarter. They kept the pressure up. They earned a corner.
Yeah, I've got to,
Killed
Pete,
the penalties.
these,
I think they're just overall their whole game is solid tonight.
yeah, I mean, it's not for the lack of Keene giving a certain amount of offensive effort. They've been very consistent, very, very consistent coming up the field and generating offensive play. We're going to take a break for a second here in the booth. Well, we're back live. 16 seconds here before we start the fourth quarter. And I'd just like to mention, Pete, these referees do an incredible job. This is not an easy game to call with all their intricacies of foot calls and stick calls, and a lot is left up to their discretion. And they seem to always get it right, on that play. Certainly difficult to see because it happened quickly, but nicely called by the two referees on the field.
We're fortunate to have them because there is a problem with NHIAA, which is the governing body for high school athletics. They don't have enough officiating, and if anyone listening or watching or downloads this broadcast later, if you have any interest at all in learning more about becoming an official for any of the sports, just go to NHIAA.com, or excuse me, .org. Look it up. Get in touch with them. They need officials. There's a lot of JV games. I remember this in lacrosse years ago, where they just didn't have officials to call the games.
And they'll provide the training
Absolutely.
on top of that. So
if you have an inkling, this might be of interest on any sport, get in touch with NHIAA.org.
Well, we get ready to start the fourth quarter. 15 minutes on the clock. Your Bedford Bulldogs are up 3-0 at this time. This Keene Blackbird team has certainly played a great game. The goalie, Williamson, has certainly kept them in it. And up and down the field, Tessa Pearson, Cece Whaler, Harper Zalaski, Avery Allaire, McKenna Nelson. I mean, they certainly have some talented girls as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. O'Donnell from midfield, quickly up across the 40, across 35 and the 30. Tries to advance it, but nicely defended there by the Keene player, who takes it right away and moves it back up the other way. McDonald knocks it down. And they're going to call a third party on that. Not sure why. Big drive by Miller right off the shin pads of senior captain Natalie Denon. She's okay. Miller again. Miller tries a big lift. Denon knocks it down. Shoves that ball up to the 40. Davidson over to Putney. Putney back to Davidson with a give and go. Davidson back again to Putney. Putney again tries to get in the center of the field. Keene players there. Denon steps up. Miller has it. Miller with a beautiful stick handle between Denon and Montagano, and a big drive up the field from Miller. But that ball is going to go the distance and out of bounds. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford. Denon is limping a little bit out there, Pete. Let's hope she's not hurt. I haven't seen Kylie check back into the game, but I do see her on the standing on the sideline, so I'm hoping that's good news for the junior forward that she's not too injured. Miller for Keene, far side of the field to the 10. Stick handles nicely between the Bedford players, but Montagano is there, knocks it down. Ball pops up in the air. And number 24, Ella Rice for Keene, will get a free hit. Up to Miller. Miller goes goal line, saves it from going out, tries to move across the goal line, but it does squeak out. And they're going to call, that should be a Bedford ball. Yep, that's the right call. Up to the 16, free hit, Catane for Bedford. Slides it up to Montagano. Montagano up across 30. Beautifully laid out for O'Donnell. O'Donnell, quick feed up across the 50. Slides it outside to Denon. Denon tries a give and go into the shooter circle. Putney gives chase. Number 33, Lexi Yardley, was there for Keene, but it just bounced off her stick, hit her foot, and it's going to be a corner call. And the Bulldogs are going to have another scoring opportunity with just under 12:20 left in the game. Davidson on the goal line. McDonald, number 12, at the top of the circle. McStowe calls in the play. Ball comes up to McDonald. She gets it in the shooting circle. Big rip. Ball comes up high, bounces in the goal mouth. Lydia Denon tries to corral it. And the Keene player just knocks it out of bounds. It's going to be another corner call, go Bedford's way. But I don't think the Keene defender had many other options there. I think anywhere she was going to put the ball, she was surrounded by Bulldogs. That would have led to another offensive chance. So she just knocked it out of bounds. Senior Natalie Denon inserts up to McDonald. McDonald, beautiful drive, backside. And Davidson and Denon both almost got their sticks on that ball, and it just went wide right. Nicely executed, just off on the timing. Excellent play.
I agree. Their corners are looking real sharp at this game.
Keene player tries a lift. O'Donnell knocks it down. Is able to get a foot call there. Montagano scoops it up real quick into the circle. Denon tries to advance. Ball gets deflected. And the Bulldogs' leading scorer, Sydney Davidson, is there to collect what's left. And she puts it in the back of the net. That'll be a 4-0 lead for the Bedford Bulldogs.
We've heard her name a few times this season when they talk about goals.
Yeah, she certainly has found the niche and the scoring knack this year as a first-time varsity player. She played swing last year, and the Bedford Bulldogs were stacked with talent last year on offense, so she didn't get as much playing time as I think could have, but she certainly has turned that around and proven to be a premier goal scorer, not just for the Bulldogs, but in the league. Keene moves up into the shooting circle. Miller tries an inside-out move, but McDonald is there. But that quick little spin move off the foot of McDonald, they're going to give Keene the benefit of a corner call. Keene will have an offensive chance. Just about 10 minutes left in this contest.
You can tell that Keene plays on grass at home because they are hitting that ball so darn hard.
They certainly are.
A lot of our players have been on the receiving end of the ball after a big hit by Keene.
This is a talented team, Pete.
No question.
These girls really have great stick control, a nose for the game. As the ball comes in, O'Donnell gives chase. McKenna Nelson takes a swipe at it, but just misses it. They're going to call a dangerous hit. McDonald's going to set from the 16. McDonald for Bedford goes wide. Out to Catane. Catane, far side of the field, tries to advance it up to Denon. Denon tries a stick handle around the defender. Can't quite clear it. Keene comes back and counters across the 20. Into the shooter circle. Spin. Shot. That's going to be
They called
a
the
corner call.
Yeah, that was a corner before the ball went in the net, so that should
Boy,
be.
Bedford dodged a bullet right
sure
there.
Yeah. The whistle on that one helped them out.
I'm not sure who was in that crease. I think it was Harper Zalaski. Had side dead to rights with a lot of open space to shoot that ball. But Bedford got the benefit of a call. Let's see if they can keep the ball out. Martin, big shot. Miller. Ball pops up in the air. And that's going to be called a dangerous ball, and it's going to be Bedford's free hit at the 16 as McDonald slides up. 8:25 left in the game. Big, beautiful pass, aerial by McDonald up to the 30. Gets knocked down. Miller, number 21 for Keene, crosses the 20, spins, backhands. Brooke Poirier, defender for Bedford, is there, interrupts the play. Back in the circle, McDonald pickpockets the Keene offensive player and moves the ball up to Denon. Denon fights for it at the 40, gets it up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to advance. Number 24, Ella Rice for Keene, slows her down, but it's going to be a foul called, and it was a free hit for Bedford. Montagano tries to knock it down off her foot. Keene comes back the other way. Number 4, Paige Davis. Back over to 21, Sophia Miller. Miller spins, tries to drive it downfield. Brooke Poirier is there. Poirier counters, advancing up the field off the Keene defender's stick and out of bounds. It's going to be a free ball insert for Bedford. I haven't called her name much tonight, but number 5, Olive Thatcher for the Blackbirds, has certainly played very well defensively as well, Pete. Keene at the 25, Montagano blocks the advance to the ball, slows it down. Miller wheels left, top of the shooter circle, backhand shot. Beautiful tomahawk.
That was a pretty shot.
Blackbird goal. One of the best goals I've seen this season, Pete. That was certainly a rip. So Keene gets on the board. 6:40 left, 4-1 game. Fourth quarter. What a beautiful shot. Here comes O'Donnell, up across 35, up to the 30. Looks for the opening, advances the ball, gets a foot call off of Miller's foot. It's going to be a free hit for Bedford. Montagano from the 25. Montagano turns, spins, goes back to Brooke Poirier. Poirier back to Montagano. Montagano gives chase, but Miller is there. Miller for Keene, clears the ball just up to about the 50. Denon smartly back to McDonald. McDonald to Montagano. Montagano up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell into the shooter circle. Moves it up. Gathers it again. Backhand to Grace Wolf. Grace Wolf tries to advance it in the goal mouth. Just out of the reach of Davidson. And Miller's going to try and clear and does. But Poirier is there. Poirier up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to gather it just off her stick. And Keene's able to clear. 5:30 left in the game. Brooke Poirier, junior defender, inserts, passes it down the line to Montagano. Montagano nicely gathers it in, one-handed. Grace Wolf into O'Donnell. O'Donnell from the circle advances, gives it another chance. Ball pops towards the goal mouth. Nicely redirected by Ella O'Keefe, who's just checked into the game. Nice adjustment on the ball in order to knock that down out of the air and try and advance it. That's going to be a Bedford ball. It's going to come back out to the 25, Montagano. Montagano moves left, then right. Tries to get in the shooter circle. Knocked down. Denon tries again. O'Donnell in traffic. Spins. Tries to advance it. met by a wall of Keene defenders who come surging out, and they push the ball back all the way up to the 45 where Katane has some time. Katane smartly back to McDonald. McDonald nicely gathers over to Brooke Poirier on the left side. Brooke Poirier, near side of the field, weaves through a player and moves it up. Ball comes back onto her stick. She tries to advance it up to Grace Wolf, and Grace Wolf just can't steer clear of that. It just catches her in the back of the heel. Unfortunately, it's going to be a free hit for Keene coming back the other way. Sophia Miller tries to advance. Montagano and O'Donnell try to jump on it, but they're going to call third party, and it's going to be Keene free hit from about the 50. Lexi Yardley tries to drive it. O'Donnell knocks down the bouncing ball, tries to spin away, but gets bodied. McDonald, beautiful stick hand move the outside, tries to get around Miller, but she's there. Number 21, Sophia Miller, advancing the ball for Keene, going to get the benefit of the call at the 15-yard line. Sophia Miller inserts. Ball gets up into the shooter circle. McDonald, nice stick work there to clear the ball. Back onto Miller's stick, into the goal mouth. Side tries to get into play. On her back, McDonald's there to pull it out for Bedford. And Bedford is going to dodge another bullet, get the benefit of a foot call. Nicely done by McDonald and Sy as she dove across the crease to keep that ball out of the back of the net. Keene comes right back. McDonald, beautiful stick check, knocks it down, goes backhand, up to the 15. Keene player is there, but Brooke Poirier smartly carries out, and Miller counters. Miller from the 15 for Keene, tries to go backhand, gets it to the goal mouth. Sy with a pad save. Back out in front, and number 8, Harper Zalaski, gets to the backhand and slides it neatly into the back of the net for the Keene Blackbirds. We have a 4-2 game with 2:21 left.
We shouldn't be surprised when you're playing Keene. Their scoring started a little late in the game, but they score. And they have not laid back at all.
Nope, 2:21. O'Donnell brings it up the field. Keene intercepts. Montagano tries to slow down the Keene advance. And does. Ball's going to come back to the 50. Miller advances. Big rip from Miller. Montagano's there to gather it up across the 30. Slides it up to Ella O'Keefe. O'Keefe tries to advance it up across the 50. Gets the benefit of the call Bedford's way. Ball up to O'Donnell. Tries to advance it. Whoa, Davidson almost breaks away, but gets tied up in Lexi Yardley's stick and goes down. That's going to be a free hit for Bedford as the ball comes back out to about the 20. Montagano sets. About a minute and 20 left on this clock in the game. Montagano over to Wolf. Wolf from the 20 into O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to advance it. Miller knocks it down nicely. The ball bounces around. It's going to be a free hit for Keene. Just coming up on a minute left in the game. 4-2. Keene has to hurry. Yardley with a big rip down the sideline, but out of bounds. 45 seconds left in the game. Referee directs Bedford to bring the ball up the site of the infraction. Montagano from the 17 tries to slide it down low to Grace Wolf. And it's going to be a Keene free hit with 25 seconds left. Yardley, big rip. Ball bounced up the field to the 50. Ball advances. Opportunity for Keene to get in the shooter circle. Does in far left side, just misses. Cy came out beautifully, cutting that angle down, which I think pressured the Keene player to get a shot off. And sometimes, Pete, it's not about the save you make, it's about the angle you take to create the pressure on the player, and Cy did that beautifully. So the Bedford Bulldogs will pull away with a 4-2 victory here tonight.
I think if you're the Keene Blackbirds, you're saying to yourself, man, if we had another 8 minutes, we could have changed this game, because they really came alive in the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter with 2 goals, and they were showing what we knew they could do, and that was control the ball, control the play. 2 goals in, but just not enough time on the clock for them to do any more damage to the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs walk away with a solid win, 4-2. Great defense all around by the Bulldogs, and some terrific offensive plays gave them the leg up on tonight's game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Pete. And, you know, both sides of the ball, again, great play. Keene has some certainly very skilled players. And I agree. If there was more time on that clock, I think they would have been able to close the gap, because Bedford seemed a little bit back on their heels there at times. But wonderful play all across both sides of the field. Montagano really seemed to once again be the quarterback of those Bedford Bulldogs, gathering those free hits up and making smart plays, you know, transitioning the ball, you know, very consistently, patiently, and, you know, just an outstanding game all around, but certainly well played.
Yeah, we're back here again tomorrow. So if you hadn't had enough field hockey this weekend, the Bedford Bulldogs take on Manchester Memorial right back here at home tomorrow, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Again, we'll be on the live stream, and we hope you tune in. Bedford goes to 5-3-1 for the season. This is game number 9 out of 16. Keene will be 4-2. They've missed a couple of games they'll be making up due to weather, so they haven't quite got as many games on the books that the Bulldogs have. But a talented team, and we'll be seeing more of them for sure. I think for Scott O'Donnell and myself, Pete McDonald, we appreciate everyone watching tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Have a great day.